Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Golf After Hours. I am your host, Mike Ratchman. You're watching us live on the Texas Golf Insider Network. Hey, Dave's going to join us here right after the break. He's coming live to you from Boston, and he's at Fenway Park. I don't know how well that's going to do, but for a guy who's working, I don't know how he gets to Fenway Park, but we're going to find out. Hey, folks, we've got another great show for you tonight. Our sponsor guest tonight is Adam Gross, Director of Golf out at Valor Creek at Rocking J Ranch in Blanco. He's always a guest of the show at least once a month, and it's always good to find out what's going on out in Blanco and Valor Creek. And they always got something happening at Rocking J Ranch, so you're going to want to stick around for that. And then, hey, it's Whiskey Wednesday. We're with the Texas Whiskey crew tonight. Went over so well last month. We invited Nick Jones, Dave Butler, and Stephen Sawyer. They're going to be here, and the tasting starts at 7:40. So make sure you stick around till the end of the show. Hey, listen, we're going to get some insight onto what's their best, what's their more reasonable one that's out there that's worth the price. You know, especially if you like whiskey. I was with these boys last night. They got their act together, man. You want to stick around for that. And of course, our one and done is tightening at the top. You know, what really upsets me is two cheeseheads are at the top, right? Top five. And two of them are within 1 and 2, a couple 100,000 away. So if you're not a one and done right now, man, you need to get on this real quick this next year coming up. So, hey, listen, you know all about it. We're going to take your calls. Not your calls, we'll take your emails and we'll do them live. And you know the old routine, man, it's not too late to go grab yourself a cold one. Golf After Hours. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Golf After Hours. I'm your host, Mike Ratchman. Dave Roberts coming to you from Fenway Park. Never been to a baseball field before, but we're going to see what's going on here with Davey. He's out in Boston. And Adam Gross. What is all going on, guys?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, man. I'm on about my fifth silver bullet. Watching the Red Sox beat the Rays 1-0. We've got a pitching duel going on. But beautiful weather, 65 degrees. The golf is great here in Massachusetts. It's all great in New England. And we're looking forward to celebrating the PGA Championship this weekend, aren't we, Adam?
Yes, we are. Yep. Going to be a good one.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is kind of funny, Dave, because I was thinking about you when I heard about McIlroy getting divorced. And then I didn't hear from you, but I heard from Adam, who said, I bet you he's going to start playing much better golf.
And already started last week, baby.
Well, if you remember about 8 years ago, he was dating and actually engaged to Carolyn Walensky, the number one tennis player in the world. As soon as they broke the engagement up, he reels off about 5 wins in the next year. And as I've always said, that little ring around your finger does damage to your golf game. Rory filed for divorce, win, and he is one of the perennial favorites coming into Ed Valhalla.
Yeah. Okay, Adam, so let me ask you, who the hell's got McIlroy left?
I know. I wish I did.
I do too.
I would have picked him for sure.
You know, I used him one time for Valero, and I won some money off of him. He did really well there. But I didn't go with him the following because he just went in the toilet after that.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. Is this a hit and miss? All I know is that he was playing phenomenal golf last week.
Oh, my God. Dude, that Sunday at Ground was incredible.
You know, and Dave, what did I tell you last week? I said, definitely his putting is going to grab him every time, and it really did. Because he played well. He just didn't make a move after the third day.
Yeah.
Well, like I told you last week that, if he doesn't double bogey 17, it's that near 20 number that I was talking about. But, after that first drive on Sunday, he drove it over the trees on the right Schauffele's down the middle. He's hitting a 7-iron in. McIlroy hitting a gap wedge to 3 feet. You knew that was going to probably be McIlroy's.
Yeah.
Well, Adam, the average drive is freaking the PGA is 285. That's the average overall. And this guy's smacking it 340 and 325. I mean, he does shorten up the course quite a bit, doesn't he?
It's pretty amazing, for such a slender, short guy. Dude, he absolutely freaking bombs it. It's amazing. He's got such a great move at it. It's fun to watch for darn sure. And he's accurate.
Well, obviously. When you can accurately hit a ball 340 yards, and like Dave was saying, you're hitting a gap wedge for your next. And most of these other guys are hitting 6 and 7. I mean, it really does play. If you ain't a good long iron player, that course was not going to play you well. You had to play well. My guy fell into the crapper, like day 1. He came back on day 2, and then he crapped out. He crapped out. Golly, I thought I have an opportunity. Walked away with a few bucks. Thank God there wasn't no cut because
no cut. Yeah, exactly.
So okay, go on.
No, I was going to say
McIlroy, my league.
We've been all missing McIlroy by just a minute. Everybody, all 3 of us. Yeah. It seems like after we picked him, then that's when he's done something. But we got to see, and I think this is where the strategy. Where I was watching everybody last week. I've got a horse this week I kept, and I think it's going to be WC's time because he was close at the Players, and I was holding on for somebody, and if this guy can cut like Rory did on Sunday, I think we're going to have a very interesting PGA Championship.
Yeah, I like him too. I think that's a good. I don't think I've got him. I think I've already used him, so I didn't even see him on my radar.
Well, we got the live guys coming in this week. So, that is going to make it. And, you never count Koepka. That's for sure. I mean, for some reason, he just comes off the wall, walks into the PGA, and usually walks away with stuff. And I wouldn't count him out. I'm kind of, you got John Brown there, you got Cam Smith. There's a lot to choose from if you don't have Rory, for sure, right?
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, that's what I did at the Masters. I took Koepka, and that didn't work out too well, but I think that's kind of a pretty good point is to use those live guys on the. You only see them 4 times a year, maybe. So, but gosh, you just don't know. You don't know how they're playing. You think that they're all playing great, and they all play great. It's every week is anybody's week out there on the tour, honestly. So, you just never know. But I think it's pretty wise to try to use those live guys. I didn't this week, but originally, anyway. Of course, there's still a few hours. I can change my mind.
Well, and Dave, what about you, man? I mean, you don't have Rory anymore. I know that.
Well, I will tell you who I'm going with. I am going with WC, Mr. Clark, because I still think that within a couple of tournaments, he's going to get over the hump. He's been so close so many times that, I'm not going to be bashful about my pick because, I think I'm winning our bet, our tie between us 3 this time. I'm not a bottom dweller. I think, have you checked that out lately? I've been watching y'all. But,
I think I'm down there a ways.
I've got this job right now. I haven't been able to check the computer with all the things that I've had to do around the world. And, I'm hoping that WC comes in first and I have a sleeper pick for my backup. But I think Wyndham by 2.
I'll tell you what, I didn't know you had Wyndham, but there's a couple of people who blow the wad on Wyndham last week, and Liedemann was one of them. And I tell you what, if I would have had Wyndham Clark, I would have picked him because he was looking primed to do something special. and I thought he would step up to the plate, especially before coming in to the PGA Championship.
Mm.
And I agree because he was my alternate. And thank
Oh,
God,
really?
thank God Colin made, well, there's no cut. But I just think that he's going to peak, and it's either going to be here or the U.S. Open is going to be Wyndham's time to become a major champion.
Well, I know what I'm doing after the show. I'm going to have to sit down and figure out. I still got a couple players, that are out there, but now this is the time of the season where you really have to, play right. There's a little bit going on.
Need to get a couple wins for sure.
Yeah, and if the live players are coming in for the majors, I think I can pretty much play anybody the rest of the year. So I think if you believe in the live guys, and if you've been following the live tour at all, you probably know a hell of a lot more than we do. And that's probably something I'm going to have to pay attention to a little bit more next year. Because you can still pay attention to it and find out what's going on. But they got so many side games, that go on. And you don't know, who's winning what, and who is the big money winner. There's a few more moving parts to the live, and I think guys, we're going to end up following them a little bit closer. And I'm probably going to start doing that here right after the major because we got 2 more coming up, right?
Oh yeah, we got the U.S. Open and the Open Championship.
Yeah.
And
is it a home run? That's pretty cool, man. I like that. Hey, folks, listen, Davey's been on the road, I don't know how many weeks, but it's been a long time. But he's taken our show on the road. He's taking it to Fenway Park. Hey, can you get any of these guys to scream into the camera a little bit? Say, "Go Texas, go," or something. See if you can bite off on one of those.
No, I've got a lot of underage people in front of me admiring my silver bullet. And, I just need to be careful.
Well, thanks for taking the show on the road here. Hey, so we got about 1 minute left. Okay, we got some really good pairings. I'm looking ahead, and this is going to be fun to watch because you've got Scotty Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, and Brian Harman. That's a good group to watch. Then you got McIlroy, Dustin Rose, and Dustin Johnson. Those guys tee it up a little earlier in the morning. Brooks Koepka, Max Homa, and Jordan Spieth. Now that's
going to be great.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Homa. This guy came out gangbusters last year, and he hasn't caught a good stride.
I know. But he's one I think that could win at the drop of a hat too. I think there's a good pairing too. I think Aubert and Schauffele and who's our third? That's gonna be a good pairing though.
Yeah, I tell you what, Aubert, he loves these majors. I don't. He's done.
Dude, he's so good.
Yeah. What do you guys got him left?
I got him.
Oh, what is Adam? He's not showing his card, but Aubert.
I've got him picked in one of the leagues. I've got him picked.
You do? I have Homa going down the road. I'm looking at Homa for the Canadian Open.
Are you going to hold on to him?
Oh, I'm going to hold on to him. I got WC this week, and I'm not changing. I think this guy, he's either going to win this one or the U.S. Open.
Well, you keep drinking them up, Dave, because I don't see that happen. I just don't see that happen. Hey, one thing do you got a dark horse in this, Adam? Real quick, we've probably got about 30 seconds. You got a dark horse in this?
Oh, no, I think the PGA Championship a lot of times has a strange winner, you think back like Rich Beam, Sean McKeel, guys that win that major and then really don't win anything else on tour. So dark horses in the PGA Championship, man, they can be real dark. So I don't know.
You got a real dark one that you can look at and go, maybe this.
I don't know. I really didn't look too far down down the list. I've been running like crazy with the member guest this weekend, so I didn't spend a lot of time looking at it. But
well, hey, Davey, real quick, who's your dark horse?
Well, besides Michael Block, who's just awesome,
right? Yeah,
my dark horse is going to be a guy who really needs to win, and that would be Justin Thomas.
Okay, I think that's a good one. He played well last week. You can tell he was playing some pretty good golf. Hey guys, we're gonna take a break here. Hey Davey, thanks for taking us to Boston, man. Tell all the folks back there. Texas says hello.
Oh yeah, there
Texas
you go.
Says hello. All right, brother. Well, have yourself a good night. A safe trip home.
I'll be home next week. I'll be home next week.
Safe travels, buddy. We'll catch up with you then.
All right.
Hey, folks, we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to find out what's going on at Baller Creek and at Rockin' J Ranch. They got things going on out there. We're going to find out. Just going to take a real quick break. Go grab yourself a cold one. We'll be right back.
Just minutes north of San Antonio on Highway 281, you will find Valor Creek Golf Club in Blanco, Texas. Valor Creek is now offering stay-and-play packages starting at $150 per person per night. Relax in the beautifully furnished Tuscany Heights condominium and walk out your front door and play one of the Hill Country's premier semi-private golf courses. So break away from the city and make Valor Creek the perfect getaway for a peaceful weekend or family outing. Call us now at 830-833-0706 or go to www.vcgc.golf. That's VCGC.
Welcome to the Scott Schreiner Golf Course in the heart of Kerrville, where the beauty of the hill country meets the thrill of the game. Experience golf like never before on a meticulously designed 18-hole course, a golfer's paradise surrounded by nature's splendor. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting into the swing of things, our course caters to all skill levels, guaranteeing you have a top-notch golf experience. Discover Scott Schreiner Golf Course, where passion meets play in the heart of the hill country. Book your tee time today and let the adventure begin.
Landa Park Golf Course offers an exceptional golf experience to players of every level. This newly redesigned 18-hole public course, nestled along the Comel River, combines a challenging layout with spectacular Texas Hill Country views. Located in the heart of historic New Braunfels, Landa Park Golf Course is convenient to players from Dallas to San Antonio and everywhere in between. Escape the routine. Call the Pro Shop to book your tee time today or visit us online at Landa Park Golf Course.
Are you ready to treat you and your friends to a great golfing experience? If so, it's time to tee it up at the Club at Star Ranch. Located in Hutto, just 30 minutes from Austin, the Club at Star Ranch offers manicured fairways, pure putting greens, and multiple tee options for all skill levels to enjoy. Home of the 4-hour round, the Club at Star Ranch is rated 4.6 stars and strives for course consistency so you and your friends can enjoy that golf experience you deserve. The Club at Star Ranch, where your next round awaits.
Welcome back, everybody, to Golf After Hours. Mike Ratchman here, Adam Gross, Director of Golf out at Baller Creek Golf Club. It's kind of hard for me to say Dave was working today.
Yeah, at Fenway.
Yeah, hey, listen, if you got a job like that, someone's got to do it. I get it. I think Dave is the perfect guy for it.
No kidding.
And not only that, we're starting to get followers from different parts of the country.
Oh, I bet so. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it really does make a difference. I'm glad you folks like it. We're not your typical kind of podcast that you would probably find for golf. we've been fined a few times, and but we enjoy. We get the message out every week, or at least we try to. So I'm glad you guys are joining us. I don't know how many people are from Boston, but welcome to the show if you're from out there. And if you're from out there and you obviously have an interest in Texas, because you would be watching otherwise. And I always ask that question, Adam. I get people from Missouri that send me an email. I get people from Wisconsin that send me emails. And I'm going, especially when we're doing giveaways and stuff. And I'm always, I goes, man, what's the deal you need a round of golf to go play somewhere? And you're from Wisconsin. Well, they do a lot of, not tournaments, but meetings in the area.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So they do a lot of meetings in the area. So I get it. We're down there twice a year doing our national meetings. And so when we go down there, we want to play. And that's happened to your course. People have won a few rounds and from out of state. So, hey, listen, let's talk about the course conditions. You got a big tournament. You got the membership tournament coming up out there, man. I will say I drove by some of the holes out to your place. Phenomenal. I mean, there's a lot of greenery there.
Yeah, it's pure right now. So we just went back off the cart path finally after 6 months this last weekend, and so the fairways obviously they haven't been driven on all winter or spring for that matter either. So they are just absolutely perfect. And now that it's getting hot and roughs are healthy and everything like that, so we're starting to let the carts back out on the fairways course. Now we're getting rain, so we were off the path for one day, and then it rained, and we were back on the path again the next day. So now we're getting rain, which is fine with me. I'll take the rain and cart path only anytime. But yeah, it's pure, man. It's in good shape.
Yeah, when I drove out there, I mean, I was in a hurry too to get back here. I had to do a show here, and I'm looking forward to get Texas Whiskey Crew coming on here right after the break here. Hey, but everything's looking really good out there, man. You got any projects that you got going on? I know you guys were doing a practice facility.
Yeah, we at some point we're going to do the chipping green and all that kind of stuff too. We've been looking at some construction crews and stuff like that. But we've also got another project that we're looking at that's going to be pretty big. So we may end up having to push the putting or chipping green off a little bit. I'm hoping not, but this other project's going to be pretty big, but I'm not going to say anything yet because I don't know when it's going to happen and, or if, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I just don't know when. So I don't really want to throw it out there quite yet, but it's going to be.
I thought we were going to hear something special, man. I thought we were going to hear something special.
Not quite yet. As soon as I hear it confirmed, then I'll do some announcing. It's going to be a neat project.
Nice. Well, you got to, I know with the season opening up and everything, how's your stay in plays doing? I mean, usually every time I talk, jam packed.
Yeah, it's been nuts. Yes, we had a group of, I think, 20 guys last week, and we got 24 that were showing up tonight for this week also. And then, May is always kind of nuts. And then June slows down a little bit because, everybody goes out of town with their kids, get out of school. And of course, we airify the first week of June too. So that kind of slows down, then come back into July, and it's nuts all summer and fall, So the stay plays strong.
The heat's coming, man. Spring was a little weird this year. I mean, we had a lot more water than.
Well, it's so much cloud cover. It was really, right. Yeah, it's been strange how, it felt like we were living in Seattle without all the constant rain, but
it kind of was. It was really dreary. You and I talked about it. It was like for 10 days of nothing but clouds, and people were starting to talk about it too. And but now it looks like the weekend's going to be nice and sunny. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get. Well, it's that time of the year. We're getting close to June. It's even hard to comprehend. It's going to be June already.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of blows me away that half of the year is going to be over.
Yeah.
And hey, listen, I don't think a lot of people know this. Hey, before I say that too, one thing that we never really talk about and I think you should, is when you make the turn and you grab yourself a bite to eat, you know, your place is spot on, man. You know, can you order in advance so when you get there you can pick up? I don't know if you could do that yet.
Absolutely, yeah. So, like when you get up on the tee box on 8, the GPS on the carts actually comes up with a reminder there to call, so you can just call in. And then they're on 8 tee box. There's a wooden post, and it's got the menu and stuff like that, and a QR code, so you can just look at the full menu there too. But so that's what we try to encourage people to do is order it on 8, and then it's perfectly ready right when you make the turn, and you can grab it and go. And,
Well, I'll tell you what,
you know, you get, of course, most people forget it, just like you know, obviously you're not seeing those things or whatever. So you're oblivious,
right.
or you're thinking about your game instead of food or whatever at that point, right? So most people, it's like they get to the turn, they're like, "Oh, what do you have?" I'm like, lots of stuff, but it's all made to order, you know. So it's like you just swing hot dogs like crazy, of course. But you can't beat our hot dogs.
No, hey, listen, I was just going to get to that. You can't beat your breakfast tacos either.
Oh,
You know, I
yeah,
remember when
man.
I came out there, ordered 2 of them. That was wrong. There's no way I'm eating 2 of those bad boys.
It's a gut
And
bomb.
folks, yeah, and your turkey sandwich, your ham sandwich, I've had those. With the hot dog, I don't care. Every time I come out there, I make the turn, and I don't eat hot dogs very often. But when I make that place, when I come to your place, and I will be eating them again this year or this weekend, and it's the hot dog, $6, and you load it up, and it'll take you through 10 and 11 to eat that bad boy.
Yeah, you darn right.
Yeah, and you throw in a bag of chips, and of course you need a beer with that. You can't
Of
actually
course, yeah.
have a dog without a beer. But
That's right.
hey, a lot of people don't know this, but you have a lot to do with, you really participate in everything that's going on out there. You know, a lot of people look at your director of golf, but man, you got a lot to do with the real estate as well. So give us a little background, you know, actually what's going on out there. And, you know, what do you see as your position in making all of this happen?
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously I've been here from the beginning, so you just end up being involved in stuff, and just kind of whether you like it or not really, but yeah. So the real estate out here, you know, obviously I bought a lot out here right before I moved out here, and I built the second house on property, so involved in all that, of course, too. But so man, the lots are the whole ranch is about 1,100 acres. There's about 1,800 lots within the whole development, and I think out of the 1,800, I was talking to Ryan the other day, and I think he said there's like maybe 170 or 180 lots left is all that we have in inventory. And so I was like, "Oh man, are they, you know, what kind of lots are they?" He goes, you know, there's a few drainage lots that you just really can't sell. And he goes, but the vast majority of them are golf course frontage lots. So there's a lot of that still left open. Most of the interior lots are all gone, other than, you know, some of the drainage lots, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just more so because of price point, right? So obviously golf course frontage lots are going to be more spendy, so they just don't sell quite as quick, of course. But you know, and there's lots on MLS and you know, resale that somebody else had bought from us at some point, and then, you know, they're selling it or whatever. So there's some of those out there too. And I don't know any of the details on that stuff, but yeah, it's getting down. You know, it's getting close.
You know, that's amazing what has happened over the last 10 or 12 years out there.
Yeah.
You know, knowing where it came from, a 9-hole golf course to be a major community in the hill country.
Yeah.
And the golf course and community gets high rates from everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, one thing I think is really cool too, because when I talk to Ryan, he don't care about the interest rate out there. You know, a lot of people are backing off because of the interest rate. You guys do your own in-house finance.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and that's a huge selling point right now with, especially land. You know, interest rates on land they're always higher than the home loan. So you start thinking about that, man, that's spendy. So yeah, you know, you get out here and you do the in-house financing, and I think that's a huge selling point, let alone you're in a place in the hill country where you don't have to build or dig your own well, and you don't have to bury a septic tank. and it's Central Water.
That's $100,000 right there.
Oh yeah. So there's just so many great things out here, and we're so centrally located. It's 45 minutes to anything, but it's 45 minutes to everything. I mean, Boston, you can get close to the outskirts of Austin, 45. Heck, you can get to the airport in San Antonio in 40 minutes. And, New Braunfels is 45 minutes, Fredericksburg, 45 minutes. There's just,
you guys are in
so
a pretty good spot.
Yeah. And obviously, since I've been here, the population is definitely pushing out this way from kind of everywhere, So there's a lot more convenience now than there was 18 years ago, as far as grocery stores and fast food and restaurants and
it's all going up, man, right up to 281.
Yeah,
you're
big
getting
time.
pretty close to everything. One thing I think, and this was really kind of important to you many years ago, but the school system out there is outstanding.
Yeah, it's a great school. So both my kids, my son graduates next week from high school, so it'll be down to one of them left, but they've had a great experience.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he was 3 months old when I moved here.
Man, I tell you what, and I remember seeing him as a baby.
Yeah,
and he's a cool kid. He's fun to talk to. Yeah, he's really fun to talk to. He's got a lot of BS, man. He's good.
Oh yeah. I don't know where he got that from.
He's right after dad.
But yeah, I mean, the school system's been great. They've had a good experience. It kind of everybody knows each other. They definitely, they're being taught, which is nice. There's not a lot of BS going on. It doesn't seem to be a real cliquey type of school and all that kind of stuff. So it's been great. Good, it's good sports programs for 3A. They do it right. It's good.
Yeah, it's a growing area too, man. I don't think it's going to stop. A lot of people moving in to where you're at.
Right. Yeah.
So, hey, listen, folks, if you're interested and you're looking around, I can give you an incentive to go out there. If you go out there and you tell me you got it from the Texas Gulf Insider, you got to take the coupon from the magazine, or, excuse me, you can get it online, TexasGolfInsider.com. Take the tour, especially if you're looking. Doesn't work out for you, 2 free rounds of golf to go play Valor Creek anytime you want. Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, right, Adam?
Yep, absolutely.
Come on out and take the tour. I tell you what, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Yeah. How many lots did you have at one time?
It's 1,800 total lots.
So you're down to 100. There's people, and they.
It's like 90% sold out. Yeah, so there's like 10% left about.
So if you don't want to live in the big city, which a lot of people are getting away from, I can assure you that.
Darn right, yeah.
They're really getting away from the big cities. And it's centrally located, man. You need to check it out. Give them a phone number or maybe a website that they can go to.
Yeah, so the phone number to the sales office, if you're looking for real estate, is 830-833-2266. If you're just looking for the golf course, it's 830-833-0706. Website, the golf course website is the easiest way is vcgc.golf. And then rockinjranch.net will get you to the real estate. Of course, you can link between the two also.
And folks, there is history to this place. I mean, the developer, maybe you can just talk about the developer.
Yeah.
I've had the pleasure of meeting him several times now. And you want to talk, sometimes you get developers, you got to be a little leery and weary about it.
Right, yeah.
And we know who these are. Tell them about your developer.
Yeah, so
Colonel Roper.
Colonel Lee Roper is the owner. And so in this area, he started in, I think, 1980. He bought a Ranch del Lago, which is just on the north side of Canyon Lake. And that's a big piece of land. So he started developing that in 1980. And since then, he's done, I think like 15 different developments, all kind of right here, right? So essentially from where Canyon Lake High School is now, from there all the way over to 281 and north side of 32 and some on the north side of 32 and down to 306. I mean, it's this big triangle that he's really developed a lot of the land in there. And, so most all of his developments have all been 2 to 5 acres, so bigger pieces of land, definitely ranch style communities. And originally that's what Rockin' J was going to be also, was bigger lots, 1 to 3, a couple of 5 acre pieces kind of. And once they realized how much water they were sitting on top of over the Trinity Aquifer, they somebody talked him into doing the golf course, right? I mean, he didn't know anything about golf. And so, it just worked out great. We've got, a nice source of water for the community and the golf course. And, but yeah, Colonel's, he's just such a great guy. He's a big part of what drew me down here. I got to be way before I moved here, like 7-8 months before I moved here. He flew me down for his Christmas party at his house. And man, I walked out there and I was like, oh, we're definitely moving. This is awesome.
Yeah, well,
he's such a great guy.
Yeah, I had a chance to meet him on so many occasions right now. Just a good dude. How's he doing? I know, does he still come around the office?
Every now and then. So he'll see him, he turned 95 in November, so he's getting up there. But so I see him, maybe once or twice a month. It just depends. He'll come out.
Yeah.
Normally he's just kind of coming out and driving around and checking things out and get lunch to grill. But obviously at that age you just start winding that kind of all the activity down. But
Sure.
And he's still always in such an amazing mood,
He's a funny guy too. He's a real funny guy. I love it.
You're darn right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So,
folks,
and talking about history too, the clubhouse that we have is an old ranch house that was built in the 1860s. And it was built on another ranch about 7 miles from here. And then taken apart and put back together where it sits now in the 1930s. So, it's been sitting right there for almost 100 years, let alone it was built another 70 years prior to that. So it's pretty cool. It's a unique, it's small as far as clubhouses go, and all that kind of stuff, but it's unique and it's neat and it does the job. And it's just a lot of character, which I think is.
And I'll tell you what, nobody complains about it either, Adam.
No, heck no, yeah.
School setting, overseeing 17 or 18 coming in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you got the pond and the deck off to the left. It's a very relaxing area. So you guys, he knocked it out of the ballpark with this one.
Yeah.
Really. And folks, listen, if you really want to, if you're thinking about buying something, man, put Valor Creek, Rockin' J Ranch. Great combination out there. Get yourself 2 rounds of golf just to take the tour. There's a good chance you're probably going to buy it sometime. So, Hey, Adam, we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, I hope you got your glass. We're going to be
about to get it, baby.
We're going to do a little whiskey tasting with the Whiskey Crew. Texas Whiskey Crew will be right with us. If you haven't gotten yourself another one, go get one right now. We'll be right back after the break. Don't go away.
Heck yeah.
Come visit us at Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for the Cobra Fitting and Bonus Trade-In event happening this Thursday through Sunday. Trade in your old clubs for a 50% bonus trade-in value. And while you're there, get a free custom fitting on the Cobra Dark Speed woods and irons. Schedule your custom fitting online at worldwidegolf.com. Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Landa Park Golf Course offers an exceptional golf experience to players of every level. This newly redesigned 18-hole public course, nestled along the Comel River, combines a challenging layout with spectacular Texas Hill Country views. Located in the heart of historic New Braunfels, Landa Park Golf Course is convenient to players from Dallas to San Antonio and everywhere in between. Escape the routine. Call the Pro Shop to book your tee time today or visit us online at landaparkgolfcourse.com.
Step into this clubhouse and you're stepping into history. Walk this fairway and imagine you're in the gallery of one of the first PGA Tour events, or cross this bridge and know that Nelson, Hogan, Palmer, and Crenshaw each crossed it first. Because this is Brackenridge Park, the oldest 18-hole public golf course in Texas, site of the first Texas Open and home to the Texas Golf Hall of Fame. Set your tee time today and step into history at Brackenridge Park.
Just minutes north of San Antonio on Highway 281, you will find Valor Creek Golf Club in Blanco, Texas. Valor Creek is now offering stay and play packages starting at $150 per person per night. Relax in the beautifully furnished Tuscany Heights condominium and walk out your front door and play one of the Hill Country's premier semi-private golf courses. So break away from the city and make Valor Creek the perfect getaway for a peaceful weekend or family outing. Call us now at 830-833-0706 or go to www.vcgc.golf. That's vcgc.golf.
Old friend, our hearts know you. You welcome us with open arms. Your stories are our favorites to retell. And you love surprising us with new ones. Our family treasures these moments with you and your sugar white sand.
Welcome back, everybody, to Golf After Hours. I'm your host, Mike Ratchman. Sitting in for Dave Roberts is Adam Roche, Director of Golf out at Valor Creek Golf Club. And folks, this is our funnest week of the month because we have the Texas Whiskey Crew joining us. And it went over so well last time, and so many people chimed in throughout the week. We thought we'd get these guys on. We have Nick Jones and Steve Sawyer. Dave Butler can't be with us tonight. He's part of the crew that he's got other duties, family duties, and he couldn't be with us. But welcome to the show again, guys.
Hey, man, thanks a bunch. Happy to be here again. I can't believe you invited us back after that first show.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for having us on. Appreciate it.
That's why we're inviting you back, man, because it went over so well. I didn't realize, I shouldn't say I didn't realize. I know we have a lot of whiskey drinkers, golfers in music. That there's a good combination there. Yeah. And I'm more amused that with the background that you guys have for your studio, it's probably the coolest damn background I've ever seen.
It's a green screen. They're not real.
No, they're all real.
I don't have a problem, I swear.
You guys haven't seen the garage, so
okay, we're not going to talk about that right now.
I remember you telling me that, Nick, and you said you think this is something. Wait till you see the garage, and I know.
Yeah, it's a mess, man. It's a mess. There's probably 40 cases in the garage.
Oh my gosh!
One guy's mess, one guy's paradise, right? I mean, come on, there's enough to drink here for the next 5 years.
Hopefully a little longer than that.
If that goes south, you are going to make a mint, right? Yeah. As to what you have in there. Hey, listen, folks, these are the only second time that these guys have been on the show. And I want to make sure you get, hey, Nick, tell us a little bit about you and how you got involved, and then we'll get to Steve.
Sounds good. I wanted to start off first by saying I just ordered myself some new golf clubs.
There you go.
I got some Mizunos coming. I got a whole set. I got everything.
No kidding.
I got a wedge. I got the whole iron set. I got a new driver. I'm still going to be horrible, but now I'll look good doing it. So,
well, hey, Adam, now he's got the clubs. Tell him what he's got to do now.
That's right. I need lessons.
Me too.
There you go.
But I'm a lefty, so there's the problem.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right, you can face your instructor. It's fine.
That's exactly right.
That's true. But for this whole thing, I always drink whiskey with Coke, always mix it. Usually Crown and Coke, honestly, was my thing. And then COVID hit and we were furloughed from our job. So we were getting our paycheck and just sitting at home, not doing anything. So I was like, I'm going to get into something different. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get into whiskey. So I started doing like old fashions and smoking old fashions. And then it just kind of went from there. My very first bottle that I enjoyed was Basil Hayden's. So there is a big joke, running gag, that Basil Hayden's is the best bottle in the world. But that's where I got started. And then I met some guys out of Austin, and that was the Whiskey Tribe guys. They did a thing called Bastard's Ball. That was the name of the event. Happens every year in, I think, July. And they rent out hotel room. Well, you rent out the hotel room, but you stay in the hotel and you drink and you share bottles. And they have an event on their property. And I met Dan and Sean from the Bourbon Junkies that weekend. And we became good friends. And they expanded, started doing their own distillery. And so I went in on that with them. And that's how I got into that whole side of it. And that's where we are today. So just drinking whiskey and making friends.
It goes together. Hey, Steve, how did you get involved in this? And I think you've been involved in actually whiskey a little bit longer, haven't you?
I've been going down for quite a while. The whole podcast, live YouTube thing that we jumped into has only been going for, I think we've been going a little over 2 years now, and that just came out of the need to not answer 100 people's questions about what's good and what you should buy. And then it was fun. It was fun to talk about it. It was fun to meet people. And it really kind of developed a big community like Nick described from the start of him. The beautiful thing about whiskey and bourbon is the people, man. I mean, you meet so many great people, very few things out there that you can all get together, differing opinions, different political beliefs, whatever it may be. Everybody has a great conversation, man. So it's just something that continued to grow. We love the passion. We want to keep doing it. But yeah, I jumped into whiskey back, I don't know, way back, probably way before I was of legal age, throwing hay out at different ranches. And, that was the Crown Royal days. And those lasted for several years until I actually figured out there was something better out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right too. I think we all kind of started Crown Royal, right? And I think Nick, you're right too, man. That Basil Hayden, man, that was a big jumping point for me too, was kind of once I got to Basil Hayden, I started drinking that straight. And then, then the wheels just started rolling.
This is how it goes.
I mean, yeah, you got to talk about what's the gateway bourbon that takes you from, mixing it with Coke or mixing an old fashioned? What is that gateway bourbon that really took you to drinking it neat that just made you appreciate all of it? I mean, what is that for you two?
Basil Hayden, really, for
Basil
me.
Hayden?
Was Basil Hayden. That was kind of the beginning. And then, then I just kind of basically from then, I don't think I've ever put a single thing in. I used to go to this bar in San Antonio called George's Keep, and they've got a phenomenal selection of bourbons. And so I kind of started going there and started asking, and they do good mixes and all that stuff too. But so then they got me into like Whistle Pig. And then it was really on, it's got that with some heat to it. And I was like, ooh, I kind of like this.
Well, mine was Old Granddad. I don't know if you guys.
OGD, we know it well.
Okay, now I'm much older than you guys. So Old Granddad, believe it or not, I just loved the taste to it. It had a nice little burn. And from there, I stepped up, to the Basil Hayden, the Whistle Pigs, But what was really crazy? You never get old with old stuff. I was in Boston and I was sitting at a bar and I looked up and I haven't seen Old Granddad in I don't know how long. And I told this lady, I said, is that Old Granddad up there? And this is just a couple of years ago. And she said, yes. And it was top shelf. And I told her, I said, I want a shot of that. It tastes just the same that I remember it. And that's why a good whiskey sticks around. If you keep doing it over and over and over, people love it. And
of course, practice makes perfect.
Well, you're lucky because we're actually going to be able to put that to the test because my buddy Ryan, who works out at Justin's House of Bourbon, found me in 1981, the year I was born, OGD. So I actually have a 1981 OGD coming. So when it gets here, we'll do a blind. We'll do the old versus the new. We'll do that. That'll be fun.
Awesome, man.
That'll be fun.
Okay,
that was
so
the first year they made it.
I don't know. That's just my birth year. No, so I'm all about my birth year right now. So I'm finding Dusties for my birth year. It's kind of my thing. Yeah.
I think OGD's been rolling for quite a bit longer.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now I will say this, guys. I usually put an ice cube because it's a go-to. I put an ice cube in, and that's what I do when I'm with you guys. We do this. And let me tell you, you do 2 or 3 of this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just glad. It's like last night I was over to Steve's house and he bought over some bourbon. I'm glad I only live around the corner. You know, and then you go there, you haven't eaten since 4 o'clock. I get home and grab myself a handful of peanut butter sandwiches again, and you know, and then I'm off and running until 12:30. It happens every time I meet you guys, but it is really interesting to watch you guys do what you do. You know, and Steve and you guys, all you guys are really good at it, and how you roll it, and you know, I always like to get your guys' feedback on it. So this is actually a new thing for me. I don't know, Adam, if it's a new thing for you about drinking all different bourbon, but we need both. You and I need to get over to Nick's house.
Yeah, I hear you.
For sure.
You can taste some of his stuff. It's amazing at what he has.
I just got back from Michigan. I did a pick up there, and I have a sample of my pick, but they just went out yesterday and it sold out already. But I have a whole bunch of bottles of those coming too, so we'll try some of that stuff from Evernorth.
Well,
So,
we'll have to do that. I'll supply the cigars. And,
sounds good.
We'll hang out in your man cave outside. This is cool. You know, just sitting out there. Now, so this is, hey, folks, if you like this kind of stuff, man, you need to really check these guys out. The Texas Whiskey Crew. You know, and I don't know how often you guys do this, Nick. How many shows do you guys do throughout the month?
We do every Wednesday. So we'll do 2 lives, and the other 2 weeks we'll do podcasts. So we do something every Wednesday. We haven't been doing videos as much, but we're trying to get back into it.
Yeah.
But Dave's super, super busy now. He's a workaholic. He has a problem, and it's not bourbon.
Life's got a little bit of
he's a busy boy right now. So
now you know why it drives him to drinking.
Yeah,
that's right. You got to have some kind of peace of mind after all this.
All right, guys. You gave both Adam and I a couple things that we're going to want to taste. And, you know, since we're doing 2 of them, I'll start with you, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
And we got bottle 1. And
this is all going to be Steve. This is all going to be Steve, because unfortunately I was busy yesterday, so Steve's the one who set all this up. So.
Nick was running a tasting, so he wasn't able to
do anything.
All right, I didn't know that. Okay,
and we're not going to be a ton of help on Dave's one. I know what it is, but I don't know all the specifics on it because he chose that from his collection. So we'll get you exactly what's in that sample, but we're not gonna. Nick will be able to insight you a little bit on the brand, but. As far as which particular one that is, I think it's around, but I know the blank bottle. I do have that bottle on the table here.
You got the blank bottle on the table?
Yes, I do.
All right. So you know what that is?
Yes, sir. I know what they both are. I just don't know proofs on the other one.
Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of this. I'll do the blank bottle, and maybe you can kind of walk me through this. And me and Adam both. And what am I trying to? I'm doing this here because I've seen you guys do it.
Well, yeah, that's just you just swirling around, aerating it a little bit, letting the oxygen hit it, just letting those flavors come out. It's going to give it a better nose. And then we call it a spin job. Give it a little spin job and give it a sniff. And then you know, if you haven't had any whiskey, definitely coat your entire mouth. Second drink's going to be your better one.
Okay.
I'm going to quiz you guys after this, too. See if you can guess the proof on that one.
Well, I think I drank out of the one labeled 1 instead of the blank one.
That's a different animal right there.
Okay. So the 1.
Oh, you got it's a little strong, huh?
Well, you know, I'll tell you what. I didn't think it was. Yeah, I thought it was actually kind of smooth.
Okay. What do you think that?
I'm thinking over 100, 110.
Okay. Yeah, you're getting there. It's Adam. You got any idea? You were on the other one, right?
Yeah. So I'm on the 1 on bottle 1.
All right. So Mike, the one you're on is 125 proof.
Giddy up.
Wow, that's pretty smooth for 125.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then these guys are kind of known for that. So what you're drinking there is 1792 full proof.
Ooh,
store pick.
Yep, that's a single barrel pick. So you can find 1792 full proof fairly often out there. I wanted to give you all something that you could actually find once in a while. This is a WB liquor pick, and if you usually find those at the liquor stores attached to Costco, and they have them.
Oh, really?
fairly regular basis, but when you see them, they're great. They're single barrels. They're all going to have their own personality.
Barton Juice.
Yep,
Barton
it
makes
is.
them. So
Taz owns them. So, and that's they've been going a long time. They don't have a particular age statement on that one. From what I know, it's about 8.5 years is what most of the press releases say. But I like it. I think I get sugar, really sugar cookies on the mid palate with almost kind of like a candied orange through the finish.
It smells sweet.
Yeah, it's very smooth. 17.92.
I got a little leathery taste out of it.
Okay.
So I did get some of that. Of course, my palate might be shot after last night.
Yeah.
But it.
We were drinking 2020 Wood Series Makers last night.
Oh, nice. Was that BEP or what was that?
That's FAE.
FAE.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you, what does a bottle like this run you?
So these actually aren't too bad.
They're not. I think they're right around like 60 bucks. Yeah.
That ain't bad at all.
Not for 125 proof.
Yeah, no kidding.
The only thing better than that price wise would probably be like a benchmark full proof because those are 125. Those are like 20 bucks.
And they're cheap.
Yeah.
Super cheap.
But they're not going to have that age statement like this one does.
That's really smooth for that heat.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too. And it's really, I'm feeling the flavor now. It's like an after flavor that I'm getting, and it is a little bit sweeter than I got it the first time. And I think you were right. The second time, you probably it settles better.
It does. Yeah, first taste is never a good representation of the actual flavor profile. You got to get your palate ready.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I like that.
I'm doing number one.
Number one. See if you can.
Right.
I know Adam had it. Adam, what do you think the dominant flavor profile on that one is? There's something to it.
Huh.
And there's no wrong answers because honestly, I think everybody finds something different and different stuff.
Well, that one.
I don't know. It felt. I mean, I would say it's kind of oaky, but it was really, really smooth. Like really, really smooth. Had some nice heat. More in your mouth, not any really heat down the throat, which is fantastic.
I believe those are like around 110, 115.
I think they are. Most of them.
They're usually around 110, 115.
That one is too, yeah.
This is that first run of them we got. So that one you're drinking there it's Good Times. Good Times is known for some big ass bold flavors in a lot of the stuff they do. That particular one it's a honey barrel finish is what they're calling it. It's a dominant honey flavor up front. Nick was saying proof on that it's probably in that 110, 115 range.
Seems to be where they're usually at.
But you know Good Times quite well.
Yeah, I actually just got a butterscotch in. I'm looking at it right now. So yeah, they do. I have a butterscotch, dark fruit. They do some Neapolitan. Neapolitan.
Fruity kind of flower kind of thing,
Yep.
So we don't know for a fact whether or not they have additives.
They do.
We feel like they do, but yeah. So, but it's what if you happen to see that on the shelf somewhere, and we don't see it,
you're not going to see it in Texas. Unfortunately, they supposedly do sell in Texas, but I've never seen one here. I've always gotten them in Kentucky.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, their bottles are a little different.
Where do you pick yours up?
I got most of my liquor store. There's actually two groups that I'm in on Facebook. One is a charity group, and the other one is Good Times Nation or something like that. That's all they do is sell Good Times bottles. So,
oh really?
Yeah,
and they're worth your time if you see them out there on something. It's
I
from
can
a
tell you
novelty
this.
aspect, they're good.
Yeah. Guy's name is Nick who runs it. He's a really smart guy.
What's that?
And they'll ship to you?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's sort of.
There's channels. Yes.
Yeah, there's channels. We'll do it that way. There's channels. There's very few places that legally it's not legal to sell alcohol through the mail. There's two stores that are main stores that get around it, and that's because California lets them kind of do what they want. That's Seal Box. And then Justin's House of Bourbon, which is Bourbon Outfitter, they do it through Washington, D.C. It's not a state, so there's no state law. So it's kind of like a little loophole. So those are the two main ones. But all these other groups, they will send it out in the mail. It's not a federal offense if you do not send it through USPS. So as long as you send just UPS or FedEx, they'll just take the bottle. It's not as bad.
Yeah, I had a membership to a Bourbon of the Month club for a couple of years, this is years ago, and it, the bottles from very small distilleries all over the place, from New York and California and Oregon, and I mean, just kind of everywhere, all in the States though. And, they just show up once a month with like 2 or 3 bottles. Like, this is great. Give me a good night.
Well, Texas is a weird state with those laws. I mean, they really put the regulations on us with that. Every other state, you know, it's pretty easy. You can get stuff from all over the dang place.
Yeah, we have friends that get stuff the next day after it gets shipped out of Justin's. We won't get our bottles from Justin's House of Bourbon for 3 to 4 weeks.
No kidding.
Just because of how they go through the shipping process. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm not good at being patient either, man.
Yeah,
So,
especially when it comes to whiskey, you know.
Well, fortunately,
Yeah,
you got a
I'll tell you
little
what.
backstock to hold you over.
Yeah,
I think out of both of them, I could drink number one. I mean, that is really,
Very
it
smooth.
is a little sweeter, it's a little sweeter, and you do get a little burn on the mouth, but you're right, Adam. It's not all the way down. So what does a bottle like this run, guys?
So that's the thing. Good Times is kind of like boutique-y. They're selling to a certain crowd, so they know that. The bottles range from around 100 to 130, so they're a little bit more pricey. So,
I tell you what, though, it is good.
yeah, it's very good.
Yes, I'm a big fan of that,
Yeah.
and I'm glad you gave me an oversized bottle.
Well, I have a whole bunch. Next time you come over, just have your fun.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
You can thank Dave for that big pour.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was really, really good, guys. Okay, so I'm really enjoying doing this when you guys come on the show. This is really kind of unique. And I know Adam said from here on out, he said, when these guys are on, I'm on.
He's all right.
You tell me what Wednesday these guys are on, and we're going to be there. And so now I'll start with you, Steve. You know, everybody's got to go to. I mean, I got mine, Old Forester, 93 proof. You know, that kind of gets me through the night. I have a couple of those every night. It's my go-to. Do you have a go-to that you go to every night? Because
absolutely.
Okay, what is it?
I definitely have a go-to on the findable side and one that's not on the findable side. So I have to stockpile when I can. But for something I can buy anywhere, it's going to be Old Forester 1920. That checks all the boxes for me. Completely underrated as far as I'm concerned, because it's one of those, if you know, you know. It's a real solid pour in my opinion. Outside of that stuff that you can't typically find, I would take 107 Weller Antique 107 as a regular pour as well, but it's not as easy to come by anymore.
How about you, Nick?
I want to say like easy to find would be Eagle Rare, but it's really not easy to find. But Eagle Rare is a great 100 proofer, 101 or 90, whatever. I don't know what it is. I think it's 90 proof.
It's 101. It's 100. No, it's not.
I don't know. It's over there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's really good. It is not super easy to find. But when we come to like hard to find bottles, the Joseph Magnus cigar blend is just phenomenal.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Without a cigar, it's great. With a cigar, it's even better. I don't know how they do it.
I never heard of it.
Yeah,
I never heard of it.
I don't even know where they're at. They're over here somewhere. But yeah, it's such a good bottle.
Where's that out of?
Now they're out of Michigan, of all places. They used to be out of I don't know, somewhere else. But Nancy Fraley, who does a lot of stuff with Still Austin, she's their blender. And she does all that stuff, and she's phenomenal. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she's one of the best in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So, Adam, what is your go-to?
I drink a lot of Garrison Brothers. Obviously, it's fairly local out here anyway. Hell, the master distiller lives over here on hold number 1 too, so it makes it a little more friendly to do that too. But no, even before he moved out here, and I'll go either way. They've got the black or the silver. The silver's being the single barrel, and then the black being small batch. But I kind of bounce back and forth between both of them. They're both 94 proof, I think. I keep their whole selection, all their little releases that they do every year. I keep one pretty much all the time. But
so we can actually, when Dave's not here, we just have Adam come on.
Yeah,
because Dave is a Garrison fanboy for real.
He's fan. We had Dan and Nancy in the studio not too long ago in here,
really?
hanging out doing a podcast with us. Yeah, we've done a couple different things with them.
I did see that episode.
Well,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Adam, if
so
you just
I'm
want to take
gonna
over
go
Steve, or Dave's position, you're good to go.
There you go.
Bring
All right.
Adam in here.
Hey guys, we're right up against the clock here. Hey, what do folks have to do if they want to start following you? I mean, because golf and
It's on you.
whiskey go together with a little bit of music, and we got some of that too as well. How do they get it and follow you and watch you guys? What you guys talk about every week?
You can just jump on YouTube, find us at Texas Whiskey Crew. I believe it's Texas Whiskey Crew 1 on there, but we're not hard to find on YouTube. Like, subscribe. You get notified when we're live, and excuse me, when we release podcasts out there. We will be live tonight at 8:15, hopefully, if everything works right with our equipment. But yeah, that's
Here in about 10 minutes.
Yep, about 10 minutes. Outside of that, there's a private group on Facebook, and we're on Instagram as well.
Well, Steve, Nick, thank you guys for coming on the show, man. We really like doing this with you. I hope we can pull this off again next month. Always like to know what are the new whiskeys out there, and really like visiting you guys the night before. That's always a lot of fun. Next visit, I got the cigars, and I can't beat your whiskey. I just can't. But I do have a bottle. I do have a bottle that I can bring you in and off when you get a chance. Nick, if you try something I bought special over to you, I would sure like your feedback on it.
For sure.
And that'd be very cool. Hey, guys, we're up against the clock. Well, we got to get ourselves out of here so you can get on your show. But thanks, guys, for everything, for always coming on. Really enjoy your conversation with you guys. And thanks for the support.
Thank you for having us.
Great to see y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All right, guys. Have a good rest of your week.
You too.
Thanks, likewise.
Good night. Hey, folks, listen, if you have not joined the Texas Whiskey Crew, man, jump on it. It's really good. Hey, Dave, Adam, we have gone over already.
Surprise.
Yeah, and I know Johnny's got to get his butt going. I want to thank Steve Sawyer and Nick Jones for coming on. Very cool. I'm starting to really like this a little bit, learning a little bit more about whiskey. But Adam, we do have to go over to her place. His place, talking about a man cave. This is it. And so next time, maybe here in a couple, 3 weeks, just before we come on the show again, we'll take a spin over. And if you can't make it home, I got a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah, it sounds like that's probably going to be in the plans.
It should be. Hey, thank you for always coming on. Thanks for taking care of it tonight, man. Hey, folks, listen, if you're thinking about buying a house, you know the deal. We're talking about it. Go out, check out Rockin' J Ranch. 2 rounds of golf just for taking a tour. 2 rounds of golf to go play Valor Creek, man. You will not be disappointed. And I want to thank everybody for joining in every night. Hey, I really want to thank everybody for sharing throughout the week. Some of our numbers are scary to watch sometimes. I don't know how we keep topping what we're doing, but thank you very much for sharing and forwarding them on because, as long as you guys keep doing that, Dave, Adam, I, the rest of the crew will be here every Wednesday night. So I want to thank you for that. And, that wraps it up for us tonight. Dave and I'll be back next week. Adam, thank you very much for coming on in.
Yes, sir.
Dave and I'll be back next week. Until then, rain or shine.
Book your tea time.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Cheers.
This is really good. Cheers to you, Adam.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, thanks, Johnny G, too. Johnny G. We wouldn't be able to do none of this stuff without him.
Absolutely, yeah.
G Media. Check them out.
Welcome to the Scott Schreiner Golf Course in the heart of Kerrville, where the beauty of the hill country meets the thrill of the game. Experience golf like never before on a meticulously designed 18-hole course, a golfer's paradise surrounded by nature's splendor. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting into the swing of things, our course caters to all skill levels, guaranteeing you have a top-notch golf experience. Discover Scotch Reiner Golf Course, where passion meets play in the heart of the hill country. Book your tee time today and let the adventure begin.
Landa Park Golf Course offers an exceptional golf experience to players of every level. This newly redesigned 18-hole public course, nestled along the Comal River, combines a challenging layout with spectacular Texas Hill Country views. Located in the heart of historic New Braunfels, Landa Park Golf Course is convenient to players from Dallas to San Antonio and everywhere in between. Escape the routine. Call the Pro Shop to book your tee time today or visit us online at landaparkgolfcourse.com.
Are you ready to treat you and your friends to a great golfing experience? If so, it's time to tee it up at the Club at Star Ranch. Located in Hutto, just 30 minutes from Austin, the Club at Star Ranch offers manicured fairways, pure putting greens, and multiple tee options for all skill levels to enjoy. Home of the 4-hour round, the Club at Star Ranch is rated 4.6 stars and strives for course consistency so you and your friends can enjoy that golf experience you deserve. The Club at Star Ranch, where your next round awaits.
Landa Park Golf Course offers an exceptional golf experience to players of every level. This newly redesigned 18-hole public course, nestled along the Comal River, combines a challenging layout with spectacular Texas Hill Country views. Located in the heart of historic New Braunfels, Landa Park Golf Course is convenient to players from Dallas to San Antonio and everywhere in between. Escape the routine. Call the Pro Shop to book your tee time today or visit us online at landaparkgolfcourse.com.
Just minutes north of San Antonio on Highway 281, you will find Valor Creek Golf Club in Blanco, Texas. Valor Creek is now offering stay-and-play packages starting at $150 per person per night. Relax in the beautifully furnished Tuscany Heights condominium and walk out your front door and play one of the Hill Country's premier semi-private golf courses. So break away from the city and make Valor Creek the perfect getaway for a peaceful weekend or family outing. Call us now at 830-833-0706 or go to www.vcgc.golf. That's vcgc.golf.
Step into this clubhouse and you're stepping into history. Walk this fairway and imagine you're in the gallery of one of the first PGA Tour events. Or cross this bridge and know that Nelson, Hogan, Palmer, and Crenshaw each crossed it first. Because this is Brackenridge Park, the oldest 18-hole public golf course in Texas, site of the first Texas Open and home to the Texas Golf Hall of Fame. Set your tee time today and step into history at Brackenridge Park. Step into this clubhouse and you're stepping